Oh my, that's very close. Okay, well, I actually don't have any makeup on and my hair's not done, and I'm not wearing a bra, but you can't tell. But I am gonna do my dishes, and I thought I would do a little video while I'm doing my dishes, because I don't have time to sit down and actually film a sit down video, because the minute that I start doing something that I need to do, a kid wakes up. So right now Maggie is occupied with some Cheez-Its and Zootopia. Wally is sleeping, and I thought I would give you guys an update because I post more on TikTok than I do on here. I'm sorry, I just do. You just need to follow me over there so that like you get the up-to-date info. And I show the kids on there. I don't really show them too much on here. Anyway, so let's start with doing the dishes, and I will talk as I do that. Basically, updates. I don't think that I have made a video since we got Wally. I'm making a pizza. And you don't even know who Wally is. Walter Leroy was born on February 27th. We picked him up from the hospital a few days later. I was at the hospital, not during the birth, but Cassie called me and was like, yo, you need to get over here. There were some complications during birth, and mom needed to be there, basically. Just like with Maggie, I can't give a ton of information about the case. Like, you can't know really anything that's going on, which makes it hard to actually talk about it. So rights were terminated. She signed them over. I think it was the third court date that we had. So we don't have to do visits with him. She hasn't actually seen him since he left the hospital. Not in person anyway. I have posted a few videos on TikTok of him. And then she started screen grabbing things and posting them on social media like they were her pictures of him, and I just feel like that's not right. So I don't post his face a whole lot on social media because of that. I know everybody has an opinion about us having the kids. I know my own family does. I know that they're not entirely supportive, but the way I look at it is we could have them, or some random person could have them. And I really don't want some random person raising my grandchildren. And to be perfectly honest, I don't actually give two rats' asses if my family supports it or not. This is what we're doing, and where would I have been if my grandparents hadn't raised me? So I'd just like them to think about that. That's really all the update I have. He's 2 months old now. We named him after Walt Disney and my grandpa. So you can also think that that's stupid. I also don't care. As far as the adoption goes, we're sort of stagnant. There's no real change in anything. I have a meeting with the adoption worker tomorrow. We'll see what that leads to. Probably nothing. Because if there was any real update, she would have emailed me like, yo, your background checks came back and we have a date. But no. Do you need to go potty? Somebody needs a nap. And it's me. That's literally what we're waiting on, is the background checks to come back, because we can't do anything without that. So eventually we will adopt these children. But also on the 29th, we had a pulmonologist appointment for Maggie, and if you don't know, she's been on oxygen since she came home from the hospital as a newborn. And she got diagnosed with sleep apnea around the time she was 6 months old. But for 2 years, I kept trying to figure out how she's desaturating so much that she needs oxygen, but her thing is never alarming. Her pulse ox box is never alarming. Never alarming, especially in the last year. It has probably gone off maybe twice and had an actual low drop. And it's never like insane. It's like 82. So this last time we had a doctor's appointment, I went and got a download. I wanted the most recent download that I could possibly have so that he couldn't, you know, say, well, we don't have a recent download, so we need to get one of those. Because that's what he says. I wanted the most recent download. So I went the day before the appointment. And I figured that's great. The technician or employee, I don't know what they are, honestly, was new. And she did a download for me right there. When I tell you this, like, you're going to be so annoyed. It only holds a 2-week download. Like, it's a 2-week time frame. So he hasn't been having me do downloads every 2 weeks to, like, gauge where she's at. She could have come off a year ago. He wouldn't know if she was desaturating or if she was getting better at all, because he's not having me do downloads, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you can't be that concerned about it if you're not having me do downloads, right? I did the download and I asked her, I was like, hey, can I get a copy of the download, please? Previously, they wouldn't let me have one. I might not have asked. Like, when a kid's in care, there's only so much that they can give you. And I don't know if maybe this technician was just new and didn't know that I couldn't have it, or if I could have had it this entire time and they just weren't giving it to me because I wasn't asking. I feel like I asked once before and they told me no. Anyway, she gave it to me, and it said, and I have the paper still to this day. Like, I'm not getting rid of it at all. It said that she had dropped to 82% for 48 seconds within a 2-week time frame. And so we go into the doctor and he says, well, we haven't had a sleep study in 6 months. Her last sleep study was 6 months ago. So she's going to have to be on the oxygen. We're going to have to go off of that. And I said, absolutely not. I just did a download yesterday, and he said, oh, did you have it faxed over? I said, yes, I did. It should have been here yesterday. He said, he left the room, he went to find it. He said, oh, I don't have it, so I can't go off of that. I said, that's fine, I have mine right here. I have my copy. And I handed it to him, and he said, well, this says the same thing. I said, it says 48 seconds. 48 seconds in a 2-week time period. That's not sleep apnea. If she had sleep apnea, she would be dipping on or off the oxygen. And to tell you the truth, the oxygen was coming off of her halfway through the night because she would take it off. She didn't want it. So she wasn't even on it half the night. And I would have to get up and fix it. Well, he was like, oh, you're right. I'm sorry. We'll go ahead and take her off of it. Just like that. When I tell you that I was both overjoyed and a little bit pissed. So, that's what's happening with that. But my battery is going dead, so I better finish up here And I will talk to you guys in the next video. I'm going to finish doing the dishes and cleaning my house. Bye.